Hello and welcome back to the Movie Memo Recaps. Today we are going to recap a 2012 movie titled 6 Bullets. Please be advised that there might be spoilers ahead. In the opening scene, we are introduced to Samson Gall. He enters a nightclub, which also serves as a hub for human trafficking. That night, Samson is negotiating with a trafficking network to traffic Victor. Samson offers a big sum, and the cartel's leader appears delighted to deal with him. When Samson places some money on the table, he unexpectedly attacks everyone in the room with his knife. Finally, he and the rest of the criminals engage in fight. Despite being alone, he effortlessly defeats each member of the criminal gang one at a time. He is a former member of the Special Forces and a high-ranking police officer. Thus, his fighting abilities are unequaled. After defeating all criminal gang members, he enters a room in search of Victor and saves him. He tells Victor that he is a special mercenary who has been sent by his mother to rescue him. Soon after, they go through the basement and ride their motorcycle out of the club. Before Samson leaves, he starts the remote timer, which detonates the bombs hidden in every car and corner of the building. The explosion kills every member of the trafficking group. The next morning, Samson is awakened by a police call. He's summoned to the burnout trafficking hub. When he arrives at the site, an investigator named Steve is outraged and disappointed in him for what he did the night before. He unintentionally killed a number of young people who were being held captive there. The majority died from carbon dioxide poisoning caused by the fire. According to Inspector Steve, Samson, a former member of the Special Force, is still employed personally by some parties. Although his purpose was to save the child, his actions led to the deaths of others and major losses for the police. Steve tells him to resign his work and refrain from interfering with police work. Over the next 6 months, he changes occupations and becomes a butcher, living a normal life alongside everyone else. He is still terrified of the mistakes he made 6 months ago. He often sees reflections of the flames he sparked. Following that, a family from the United States visits Moldova. Faden, the father, is married to Monica and they have a teenage daughter named Becky. Faden is an MMA fighter who has come to face an opponent in the upcoming tournament. While at the airport, Faden starts photographing his darling daughter, unaware that a woman named Amelia is photographing her from behind. They then leave and head to their hotel where they would stay during their visit. While at the hotel, Becky requests her father's permission to go to the balcony in search of a more solid cell phone network. Meanwhile, Faden is hooked to the television, watching MMA fights of his opponent. Becky goes to the balcony where she finds Amelia. Amelia pretends to be friendly and directs her to a lower floor with a stable network. Minutes later, Faden starts looking for Becky and calls out her name. However, when Faden goes to the balcony and he finds only the laptop on the table and no sign of his daughter. He then tries to call her cell phone but gets no answer. Meanwhile, Monica has no idea where Becky is because she's been resting since their arrival. Faden becomes anxious when he can't find her and promptly informs the hotel manager. The hotel CCTV is inspected, but no clues are discovered. Faden then calls the media, and the news of Becky's missing spreads swiftly. Because of Faden's reputation as a well-known and respected former champion MMA fighter, the Moldovan police organized all of their members to hunt for Becky's whereabouts right away. Samson, taking a break from his busy labor at the butcher shop, watches the news about Becky's disappearance on TV. Becky's parents, Faden and Monica, come to Samson shortly after to ask for help finding their daughter. Faden claims that someone from the American embassy directed them to pay him a visit and request aid. He adds that he cannot assist them because he is simply a regular butcher. Monica, a former police officer, recognizes his tattoo and knows he worked in a secret force division. Faden and Monica implore Samson for help finding their daughter and even pay a large sum of money. However, he declines the appeal because his earlier blunders have left him scarred. That evening, just as he is about to close the shop and go home, his son pays him a visit. Selwyn is the person from the American embassy who suggested Samson to Becky's parents. Selwyn tries to persuade his father to help Becky's parents find their teenage daughter. According to Selwyn, the police can't do anything since specific officials continue to protect the genuine crime group. But once again, Samson rejects the request. Faden hasn't given up and is still asking people on the roadway near the nightclub to help him find his daughter. When Faden approaches a pub to inquire while clutching a photo of Becky, other men mock him, alleging that he is incapable of caring for his daughter. This quickly arouses his emotions, and he begins fighting some guys. He can't defeat them on his own because there are so many of them, and they beat him badly. Fortunately, a man wearing a black mask appears out of nowhere to save him and defeats all of the men in the pub. The man in the black mask turns out to be Samson, who had been following Faden for quite some time. Samson then brings Faden to the butchery to have his injuries healed. When Faden arrives at Samson's butchery, Samson informs him that he is willing to help him rescue his daughter, provided Samson works independently and without interruption. The following night, Samson visits the home of a businessman named Lucas. Samson initially disguises himself as a messenger to get entry to the gate post and strangle the guard. He then walks into the security control center and Lucas's room without being noticed by the other guards. After entering Lucas' room, he quickly apprehends Lucas and inquires about Becky's location. Lucas claims he knows nothing about her disappearance. Samson hears this and threatens Lucas with gathering information about her and turning her over. And if Lucas is revealed to be the mastermind behind all of these crimes, Samson will return to murder him. After Samson leaves, Lucas instructs Vlad, one of his men, to murder Becky. Vlad shot Amelia and her partner to clear the trail after Lucas's commands, then threatened Becky with gasoline. The next day, authorities find a charred body that they believe to be Becky's. Becky's bracelet on the corpse's left arm confirms this. Samson, who is still hesitant after seeing the body's condition, demands that a DNA test be undertaken to discover who it belongs to. Soon after, Faden, Monica and Samson travel to the hospital to await the results of the DNA tests on their bodies. Monica broke into tears when she learned from the doctor that the corpse was Becky's. She slaps Samson because she believes his reckless behavior is the fault for everything. The next morning, Faden and Monica prepare to return to America, while Samson shows his grief by drinking extensively. Lucas and his thugs soon arrive at Samson's butcher shop, seeking payback for his actions the day before. When Lucas's henchmen whip Samson's back, he remains intoxicated and unable to fight back. Fortunately, they try to kill him and he is forced to confront all of Lucas's thugs. The shootout between Samson, Lucas, and all of his thugs is tough, but Samson survives with the help of his son. He curiously recalls the jewelry on Becky's left hand. Samson recalls Becky usually wearing her bracelet on her right wrist, so he feels the body found by police the other day is not hers. They then travel directly to the international airport to meet Faden and Monica. When he gets at the airport, he approaches them immediately. He then says Becky is still alive while describing the hands. According to Samson, the doctor who examined Becky's body may have been bribed by the kidnapping suspect. Samson promptly returns to the previous hospital to capture the doctor. After he is captured, Monica and Faden force the doctor to reveal who paid him. Stelu, according to the doctor, paid him to fake the DNA test results. Stelu is Moldova's deputy military minister and the owner of a trafficking company. Stelu kidnaps American females on occasion because he likes having them serve him. He is aware that the doctor revealed his identity to the three on that particular day. After receiving the doctor's call, he instructs Vlad to address Becky's parents' problems. Samson, on the other side, sends Faden and Monica to a safe location to protect them from Stella's men. He reassembles his previously stored weapons. Meanwhile, Becky is seen being held hostage in a rural location away from cities. When the guards around Becky become negligent, she grabs her smartphone and calls her father. Faden and Monica locate Becky using her laptop. However, it turns out that everything is part of the kidnappers' plan to capture Faden and Monica. They immediately contact Samson and reveal they are heading to Cyrenia prison. Samson tries to warn them not to go there, but the network's signal fails him. Faden and Monica arrive at the place and immediately look for a way in because the military forces are heavily guarding it. They enter the building immediately after successfully eliminating the gatekeeper. They discreetly follow the guard from behind after observing their daughter. But once again, everything is lined up to capture them. Fortunately, Samson comes in time to save them from being shot by the guards. They enter the building after receiving a key from one of the murdered guards. They rush over to a girl who looks like Becky. However, it turns out that the girl is not Becky, but rather another female kidnapped by the criminal group. They then decide to let go, save the girl, and continue their search for Becky. Several armed guards were on their way to meet them. Samson quickly shot the armed guards, using smoke gas to cover their view. Vlad, seeing the incident on the cameras, instantly orders his minions to surround Samson and the others. The fight gets tense as more of Vlad's men are ruthlessly killed in explosions. As more of his men die in the process, he tells the remaining men to retreat, and offers Faden a trade between Becky and the girl they saved earlier. Vlad threatens to kill Becky if Faden does not agree to the trade, thus they are forced to do it. Samson feels this maneuver is a trap, therefore he intends to safely monitor the exchange in order to find Vlad's mercenary sniper. Following the exchange, Vlad tells his men to murder Becky's parents, but Samson is able to stop them. He'd already killed 2 of the snipers. The cops come simultaneously and encircle the scene. Fortunately, the girl who had previously swapped places with Becky lives because Samson gave her the gun. She shoots Vlad dead as he attempts to kill her first. Finally, all of the American girls held captive by Vlad get released. The following day, Samson and Selwyn drive the Fadens back to Moldova's international airport. In the final scene, Stelu is in church because he regrets his actions. When he is confessing, Samson appears out of nowhere and shoots him dead, proclaiming that God may forgive him, but Samson will not. Thanks for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more of these recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.